Hey everyone, what do you do with leftover fabric strips? We probably all have the similar problem, leftover fabric strips from all of our sewing projects. So here is a fantastic way to use them. This diagonal striped quilt block pattern is perfect for FPP beginners. We'll be using the 8x8 inch block. I always use a fabric glue pen to glue down the first piece of fabric. Start from the middle and glue down the first piece of fabric, wrong side of fabric against wrong side of pattern. Now you place the second strip of fabric on top of the first one, right sides together, aligning the raw edges. Now you turn this over to the printed side of the pattern and stitch the line between number 1 and number 2. Flip over the second fabric and finger press or press with your iron. Now continue with the third strip. Same procedure, turn over so you can see the printed side of the pattern and then stitch along between 2 and 3. To finish this quilt block, you now just add one strip after another. Once you're done sewing with the quilt block, you trim the excess fabric. Now it's time to pull out the paper. For paper piecing, you use very small stitches so the paper is nicely perforated and pulling out the paper is easy. Now it's time to make a quilt sandwich. I use fusible batting and denim for the backing. To keep the backing fabric nicely in place, I love using spray-based. You can now quilt to your liking. I just did straight lines along the fabric strips. We'll now add the binding. First of all, we make our own binding. I used an old men's shirt. Those are perfect because the cotton is nice and soft and obviously pre-washed. I like narrow binding, so I cut my strips 1.25 inches. Place the strips on top of each other at a right angle and stitch across. Ta-da! A whole roll of perfect binding. Add a little hanging tab in the corner and take your binding, fold it over 1/4 inch at the beginning, and then start clipping it in place. Stitch along the outer edge with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. To create perfect mitered corners, you stop at a 1/4 inch before the edge, fold it over diagonally, and then fold it back at a right angle. Then you stitch along the following edge. When you're done, you fold over the binding twice to the front and clip in place all the way around. For the mitered corner, you extend the fold all the way out and then fold the following edge. Once you fold that in, you create automatically a mitered corner. Use an invisible stitch to stitch your binding in place. And here we go. You're all done. The prettiest pot holders made out of fabric strips. Bon appétit!